right, what's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Sit Down here. I'm your host, Ernest. We got Jordan. And today we got FAMU basketball coach and Tennessee volunteer legend, Bridgette Gordon, man. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to you guys. Thanks for having me on this homecoming Friday.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's gonna be a big weekend in Tallahassee, Ern. Speaking of big weekend, Ern,
It's
I ain't
a
gonna lie. I think
big weekend, and we tipping off on Monday, so I'm so excited.
I think this might be our biggest guest in terms of accolades.
Yeah.
It go on forever and ever and ever, but we're gonna start all the way in the beginning of young Coach Gordon's career. Growing up a Florida girl, I gotta ask you, how you end up going to Tennessee? Well, how come you didn't go to Florida State, Miami?
They did. Good question. I actually did verbal commit to the University of Florida.
Ooh.
I'm older than y'all might think. I'm 57. So at the time, Pat Summitt wasn't in the picture. That was back in 1984, and she was coaching the gold medal team out in Los Angeles. So she was the last person really to contact me, and I did. I verbal. I mean, I was down there doing the chop every other Saturday at the football stadium. Then Pat Summitt came in the house. She put that pressure on me.
Uh-oh.
I mean, she had everything that I thought that, was the highest goal that I could accomplish or dream, and I was being on the Olympics, being in the Olympics or being on the Olympic team, I should say. And every 4 years, a Lady Vol was represented on the Olympic team. So that was key. And she was coming off a gold medal winning Olympics in Los Angeles. And she also had All-Americans. She was just the best at the time. So I'm sorry. That's how the Florida girl get all the way up to Tennessee.
Hey, I don't blame you. I was a Florida boy, ended up at Penn State, so I'm already knowing.
I was gonna ask you what she did to get you there, but you kind of already answered that for me. You already kind of answered.
Yeah, them baby blue eyes coming home with my mom. My mom was like, "That's just what you need." Somebody was gonna be stern, tough, right, caring, loving, all at the same time. Was gonna take me to a level that I hadn't been before, and just a great human being, I should say. I miss her
So
deeply. I talk about her and I think about so many memories and fond moments that we had together and we shared on and off the basketball court.
So at that point, I know you mentioned that the Olympics was your goal. Was the first thing in your mind wasn't the WNBA at that time? Like, why did you go straight for the Olympics?
Because it wasn't in existence yet. The WNBA, or before that was the ABL, there was not a professional women's basketball team. And all I know is in 1982, when it came into existence, Title IX came in, women's right, the education part of it, and the NCAA actually came in existence. Then you start hearing about women going over to a foreign country and playing as a professional, but not considered a professional. That's why we're still able to compete on the Olympic team, because we was amateurs. But professionalism didn't come in existence in 1992 with the Dream Team. So we as women still was considered amateurs, but being paid professionally overseas. And I played 10 years over in Italy. And the WNBA came in existence in 1997. I was part of that inaugural season of the WNBA.
Wow. So, talk about your time in Italy. How was that? Was that really hard adjustment for you at first?
It was. Think about a 22-year-old, only had been in the University of Tennessee, grew up in Florida country, part of Florida, small town, grew up, went to
my bad to cut you off.
country.
My bad to cut you off, Coach Gordon, but where are you from? It was the D-land? How do they say it? DeLand?
They say DeLand, I call it D-land. We call it D-land. Okay. DeLand is the home of the Stetson, the Mad Hatters, I should say. The Stetson Hatters. And we sit right in between Daytona Beach and Orlando. That's why I know about them other people down the street. I don't like to call them.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Enemy. I call them enemy. Yeah, that.
Didn't they film the longest
what they call it? They something maroon and gold. I don't even know what they call themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what they call it either.
Yeah, they still got that same stage that I used to see when I would go over there and play as a little girl. So, but yeah, just going back to that. Yeah, that was all that I knew of at the time. So.
I think they filmed like The Water Boy or some football movie there.
Yeah, The Water Boy was filmed at Spec Marching Stadium. That's now the stadium has been rebuilt and I want to say renovated. And now that stadium belongs to the Stetson football team professional. The only time we had the Spec Marching was what did we have? Those generals there? Was it the some generals that came into town, like Herschel Walker was a part of that football team that also played there and practiced there. But yeah, water boy was at Spec Mantra.
Ooh. And then just talking a little bit about your time at Penn State, being at Tennessee, playing for a legendary coach like Pat Summitt. Like, what did you learn from such a legendary coach like her? And obviously, the legends and the stories go on and on about her. Like, what's one key moment that you learned and took away from her?
Oh God, so many important moments. She just taught me how to be a classy young lady on and off the basketball court. She stood for excellence, and she demanded us sit in the first 3 rows in the classroom, go up and introduce ourselves to the professor. Realize that it's not about the name on your back, which we didn't have our names on our jersey. It was about the name on the front, University of Tennessee, Lady Vols. And she always said, there's nothing that's more important than team. There's no person bigger than team. She would carry bags. She did everything for us. What you see myself doing that right now here at FAMU, washing clothes when she first started her career.
Wow.
Just the small things that she did, like, oh man, it was she was tough though. She tough. She prepared me mentally for the real world. So when I got out in the real world, or like you were saying, the 22-year-old going to Italy, not knowing the culture and the environment, I was already mentally tough. I just sucked it up. Some nights I would cry in my bed, but I remember being mentally tough. I remember, it's raining outside, and I'm thinking like, no, we ain't gonna run. Go put on them rain suits. That's why I bought them. Go put on them rain suits. Let's go. You still got a 3-mile run. And we're thinking like, oh my God, go back to the Final Four. It's tough, tied game, and mentally tough. You think about putting on that rain suit in the rain. I ain't running in that rain suit for nothing. Somebody gonna pay for that. It's kind of like, being mentally tough, and at the same time, for 3 hours every day, 4 years, 12 to 3, she was on me, right, wrong, and different. Excuse me. As soon as practice was over, I get choked up. She would ask me how my mama was doing. I'm thinking like, what? How my mama doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you.
Wow.
She made you talk.
I was about to say.
That's what the great ones do, man. That's what the great ones do.
Especially having that relationship, that type of relationship. Like, man.
Italy, I want to talk about so there's little jokes, but so in Italy, was that pasta really good over there? Like Italy is supposed to be the pizza and pasta supposed to be pretty good in Italy.
The good thing about it is that I took Spanish as a foreign language. So it helped me speak Italian. I speak Italian fluently. So I was able to conjugate the verbs. When we go on road trips, my teammates would, quiz me on the plate, the food. I'll take my dictionary around. Before you know it, they call me a little black Italian. I was speaking Italian, going to the school, feeling like I was Michael Jordan, the female Michael Jordan over there.
Yeah, I'm knowing.
I mean, they was like, oh, Bridgette. I had the Boys of Bridgette fan club.
Yeah, I know they ain't seen nothing like you over in Italy.
Let me get off the line right quick. I'm gonna just
no, you're fine.
Tell you this little book. That was me back in the day over there in Italy playing. I had my own little fan club in the background. So cool. I mean, I was just living the dream. Those were the days, like it got tough being away from family and friends. That was the sacrifice. To continue after college when I graduated in '89 to play professionally. So it was tough, but it was well worth it. I mean, the food, the people, I didn't feel any prejudice. That was back in 1992, Desert Storm. We had Rodney King beating, and Italians like, Bree, why? The land of the free, what's going on? Why, the rioting, why is that going on? They just didn't understand.
Wow.
Because I had the opportunity, I just been really blessed. I had the opportunity not just to play for in the Italian league, but represent the Italian in the European Cup. So we traveled to Russia, Kiev, Lithuania. At that time it was Czechoslovakia. Now it's the Republic of Czech, the Republic of Slovakia. It was Yugoslavia back then. Now it's Bosnia, it's Croatia, it's Serbia. All the countries that have been divided now. But they couldn't understand why we couldn't just get along as a country. Because they didn't see no color. They just saw me as a person, as a human being. They didn't see the color of my skin. They just loved me for me. And because I could just get up and down that court, I was just like Flash Gordon. I was, getting up and down, and that's all they saw. They didn't see any color. They just saw
Speaking
a
of that,
beautiful woman,
what was your
and that's
nickname
how
back in the
that's
day?
how they received me.
What was your nickname back in the day?
Flash Gordon, baby, I get it done. Flash on that wing, on a fast break, I'm gone.
You don't think Ernest could guard you on the perimeter?
Nah.
See, I don't know why Jordan do me like that, man. I don't know why Jordan. It's all
Boy,
good.
don't do it like that. Boy, I was mean. I'm easy going and off the court. On the court, baby, it's a whole nother game. I told my mama, you on the other team, you going down, baby. I'm sorry. Mama going down.
Coach, let me ask you. I know you were raving about your time overseas. Did you have a better time playing basketball overseas or when the WNBA finally kicked off?
Overseas.
Ooh.
Our gymnasium was more like 2,500, kind of like the old Gaither. And it wasn't none like that home feeling. You got the fans rooting for you, going against you. Sellout stadiums everywhere we go. The pay was nice. Back in the day, I was making, and that was like I'm saying, I graduated in 89 and stopped playing in 2000. And we was making six figures, and they barely making six figures in the W right now today at minimum wage. So we making six figures over there playing one game a week. Wow. I was on the top team in Italy. I had a nice casa, apartamento, marble tile.
Living.
I was kind of spoiled. Had me a nice 5-speed BMW. The team paid for satellite TV. They hooked the little girl up from University of Tennessee. And that's the thing. Pat made sure I was taken care of. She made sure my agent took care of me. That was another thing. That was the motherly love that she was going to make sure she took care of me after the ball went flat at the University of Tennessee. She looked out for me. Her husband was the vice president of a bank. He made sure I invested well. So they made sure I was taken care of on and off the court. But let me tell you, them Italian days, they had my own, the ice cream parlor gelato. Oh, they knew me coming up. Oh, Bridgette. Wow, here we go. Dai gelato. Fragola con limone. I love strawberry with lemon.
Gelato. You was in it for real, though.
They named the pasta dish after me. It's rice with mushrooms. They call it risotto con funghi. One of my I loved it. And that's when I fell in love with spaghetti.
You was the girl over there.
In love with the rib. Oh, it was authentic. The ricotta cheese that they used, the marinated sauce they put in the freezer, the handmade pasta. Oh, I had.
It sounds like you want to go back.
Oh, I told you I was a black belt. I'm going back.
Yes. Would you want to go coach over there again? Is that like a goal?
Oh no, that was an option. That was an option to go back to Italy. But I spent so much time, and that's what people didn't realize. Being a professional athlete overseas, I spent 9 months out of the 12 months over there. So I had 3 months off, kind of say off. We'll come home for Christmas for about 7 days. Spent a lot of New Year's bringing it in over there in Italy and Como. I'm over there in Como. Y'all know, what's his name? George Clooney. He has a big old nice mansion on the mountains right there in Como. I sit right in the beautiful mountains and I can see the snow on the Swiss Alps up there. Because I was like 35 minutes from the Switzerland borderline. Beautiful, but cold. Beautiful, but cold.
That made me want to go over there. Shoot.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's what people dream about. And I was living the life at a 22-year-old. People dream about going to Como, Italy, the lake, and, just over there for the scenery. Milano, the capital of styles, right? Malpensa, the soccer, you think about soccer, all the soccer teams over there, the pros. I mean, it was the dream. I was living the dream at an early age at 22. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. It taught me toughness, to appreciate, sacrifice, and what it meant to follow your dream and just live your life to the fullest. Don't take no day for granted. I live every day like it was my last day.
As you should. Now, Coach Gordon, now, like I said, you a very, very decorated player, especially at Tennessee. You played a lot of big games, a lot of big moments. And you just talked about your time overseas. So talk to us about your favorite, and then win the gold medal. My bad. I don't know how I almost went over that. Win the gold medal. So talk about what was your favorite playing, like your favorite moment you've ever had?
That's tough.
With Final Four, 4 consecutive years, 2 national titles, Final Four MVP, SEC Player of the Year. I mean, there's a lot of moments you've had. So
first professional game.
But the older version of me would say it was receiving that diploma, because it was a thing that we signed the poll, and Pat had a 100% graduation rate. So I was determined not to be the first. So the highlight of my career was getting to sign that poll, and I signed it real big, because for 4 years I took a lot from her. So that was like one of the shining moments, because my father being a native Jamaican, my mother being American, so I'm considered a Yankee man. Being the first graduate of my father's children was special. Going on to college and graduating and being the first. But when I look at it, giving Pat Summitt her first national championship in 1987.
So that was the Coach Bridgette answer, and then this is the Flash Gordon answer.
Yes. So that 87 championship, winning her first one, was just like, that's special. Oh, that's special. Especially when you with somebody for every day and you just working with them. That's special. And then the last one was special for me, because it's like, what other way to leave your college career? What legacy you gonna leave? MVP of the Final Four. That's what I'm going out in style. So that's kind of like, I did that one for me, but I gave it to a second one. I wanted to, put my name, leave my legacy, leave my footprints on the University of Tennessee. The gold medal, I mean, I didn't think I can achieve anything. That was my dream as a little girl growing up at Edith I. Stark Elementary, because there was no professional teams. So my thing was to get a gold in some sport, because I played every sport at that time. So I wanted to be a gold medal winner. So all my dreams was about the Olympics. So to finally get up there and hear Whitney Houston singing One Moment in Time. Oh, wow.
Now, Coach Gordon, where all this hard work? Hey, it's in Lawson. I gotta come see the gold medal myself.
The gold medal is in the case, but I got a picture. I'm looking at it right now and say, if it glittered, it must be Gordon. I had on my Mr. T starter kit with my gold medal. You couldn't tell me nothing. I'm styling. I also have in my office my Women's Basketball Hall of Fame trophy when I got inducted in 2007. So, like I said, I've been truly blessed. I can't take the credit. God says, the Bible has always taught us, faith without work is dead. So I had the faith, he blessed me with the talent, but I had to work. So when you're a part of a first of a lot of things, you kind of chosen, you're just blessed, you're special. 100%. First to have their jersey retired. Let's talk about that. The first female Black athlete to have their jersey retired and hang up in Thompson Bowling Arena.
Wow.
Talk about that. That's special right there.
Lead the University of Tennessee in scoring, male or female. So, I mean, think about a lot of firsts. Then go in my college, coaching career as an assistant, the top recruiting class, the first, at Stetson, we goes to our first ASUN championship and win. When you're just a part of a lot of firsts that continue to follow your career, you just blessed, and I just stay humble. It's just a blessing. First, to take Florida A&M women's basketball team to the swipe. I'm ready to get back.
Yeah.
Hey, I see a common denominator, though.
Yeah, I do, too.
But, hey, Coach Gordon, I got to ask you, what's one player that you looked up to that you kind of modeled your game after? And then another part of that question, what's the player that came after you that you kind of seen in them?
That's the one thing that I pry on, being at Florida A&M, working for HBCU, you giving your life and you giving so much to the game. And if I go back and I look at my role models, was Michael Jordan, Dr. J, because there was no women on TV at the time. So I had to mark my game after a man. And I used to run home to watch Michael Jordan in North Carolina play. George Thompson at Georgetown with that tower, watching him coach. So those was my role model, Dr. J, knowing that I can't do that because God didn't give me that natural talent to jump as high as they could, but they were my role models as men. because I didn't have women role model. The woman role model was my mom and my grandmother, and of
Wow.
course Pat, because I didn't have women basketball wasn't where it was at today on this platform. I consider myself one of the pioneers that helped put women basketball on the map and on the platform that it's on today. And that's why I tell my young ladies so much, you're receiving all the benefits from our blood, sweat, and tears many, many, many years ago. That's why I can allow them not to respect the game and know the game and play the game at the level that it's supposed to be played on in the skill set, right? Teaching the fundamentals. But when you go back and just look at it, it was Michael Jordan. I used to hold my tongue. He was MJ. He was Air Jordan and I was Air Gordon. How about that? I was wanting Nike to get me a commercial. I wanted to be Air Jordan.
If you came around a few years later, Coach Gordon, you might have got that. You might have got that deal.
Right?
So then that leaves
I'm still trying to get MJ. LeBron, sign me up. What's going on? What y'all waiting on?
You get it. You get it.
Coach Pressure. Come on now.
So that leads me to my next question. So you looking about, all that you put into the game, you're coaching it now, you're still around the game. So you see how it's transformed with people like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese taking the game and just taking it to new heights we haven't seen before. Does that make you feel like a certain kind of way, like dang, like maybe if I had just been born like at this time, like that could have been me? Does that those thoughts ever come across your mind?
You say, hey, I wish I could have played in front of that type of crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I didn't have to go overseas so far away from my family. And the sacrifice part of it is that, I'm a single Black woman going to a foreign country, at 22, not married from college. And that's hard, right? If you staying out the country for 9 months to kind of have a husband. So it's so much sacrifice that people don't realize that we as female athletes had to endure in order to be professionals. So never saying that, oh, I wish I was there out of jealousy, but you do let your mind go there and say, like, what would that be? Like, we had Kodak All-American. I would have been in the Jordan game and the McDonald's All-American game, right? Or you gonna see me on the video games right now. But I love the fact that I was a pioneer and I'm a part of history. I'm a part of saying that I was the pioneer, the foundation, laid the foundation for these women to be able to elevate and be on the stage. Because long before Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, you still have Aja Wilson, right? You had them. You had the Dawn Staleys that played longer than me. You had the Weatherspoon. You had the Lisa Leslie, the first one. You had the Candace Parkers, the Holesclaws. Let's not get the Meeks that played at the University of Tennessee. It came along and then furthered our game, that platform at the collegiate level, so we can advance to the W where we're at today. But then you had the nuance of the game, because I talk about it because I'm old school. You got the little young new girls. I call it the new twist. They didn't put a little flavor into the game, which has grown the game because the support had to start at the collegiate level for it to go to the professional level. Yeah. So you just thank them for, playing it forward, as we want to say, playing it forward. But do I ever say that I wish I could have did that instead of the 10 years over there? Yes, but I have no regrets because those are some of the best years of my life. That's where I found myself as a woman going overseas, going to those foreign countries, Romania, and saying like, Bridgette, you don't have it bad at all, even with the prejudice and stuff goes on in America. You have people that's going out eating, going out in the cold. They're just poor. If you don't play, if you're not an athlete, you don't get the treatment, right? So I was being blessed and fortunate to see that and go, baby, you ain't got it hard at all. You got it easy. So it was eye-opening, but yes, I would have loved to play in the W in front of the crowd that they playing now. Well, I would have showed out for real.
That Florida would came out.
What?
So, Coach, let me ask you, because I know a lot of time for athletes, it's hard to really live in the moment because it's always, as successful as an athlete that you are, it's always what's next. Like, what was like the moment in time that like you actually got to like reflect and soak about all the greatness that you accomplished? Because Olympic gold medal, 2-time national champion, Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, one of the most decorated athletes, not just women's, of all time. So do you remember that first moment, like when you actually got to like reflect and like really get to soak in like all the greatness that you accomplished?
And to be honest, I did that this year for the first time.
Wow.
That was one of the things that Pat Summitt didn't allow me to even think about. We didn't read newspaper, and thank God we don't have these. I got 3 of them now. These, we didn't have that, right? So don't read the newspaper. She kept me level-headed. Never like say, okay, Bridge, you had achieved all those things that I accomplished. She never said, okay, you had achieved, because she knew me as a young Black woman that I was going to have to work as hard or harder than somebody that looked like her. She prepared me. She mentally prepared me for what I was going to be up against. So I never just let myself even get in the moment. I celebrated, but I couldn't say that I just sit back and go, oh my God. So as I look at everything in my office, or I bring in recruits and I'm looking at the accolade and I'm like, dang, girl, you were tough. You did some, girl, you bad. And I had to sit back, and I was just starting telling my team, and I would go like, ladies, do you know, I didn't just play the game, but I'm one of the best players to play the game. Because I never bragged on myself. I just kept it right here every day. I just kept an even keel. I ain't get high with the highs and get low with the lows. Just played the game the right way. But I just sat back this summer and went, dang, girl, you was bad. And I look at my players and I'm like, dang, you was tough. You was that girl.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a player, you gotta respect that, like as your coach, kind of like in Colorado with Deion Sanders, like it's a different level of respect, like knowing the person who's coaching you every day, the person like where you're trying to get to their level, they accomplish everything that you're trying to get to. Like it's a different level of respect, like rather than someone who had to work their way up, like got fathered in, like their dad was a coach. Like when someone like is the best, like it gives you like a different level of motivation, I feel, as an athlete. So
yeah, it does.
girl.
I try to tell my ladies they fortunate all the time. Right? They are, to have somebody that been there, done that, know what it look like, know what it takes, one at every level. So I'm not going to shortchange them. I'm not going to set them up for failure. And I told them, they already know, I'd rather be respected than liked than any day. I'm not here to be your BFF. Be your mentor and prepare you for the next role, because you might not go pro in basketball, but you're going pro in something. And that's why academics, I don't play. Character, academics, confidence, I got 3 C's. First is Christ. And you have to have character, because you can't even fit in my culture without character. I need character because I don't need to be watching. When I'm not watching, what you doing when I'm not watching? That's the most important, because anybody can do right when I'm watching. It was the things that I wanted to do right when Pat wasn't watching. And I feel myself being her sometimes. It kind of scares me, that spooks me.
Yeah, I bet.
But you want your young ladies to be excellent. You want people to be able to say, when I saw your young ladies, they were well behaved. They knew how to carry themselves. They knew how to conduct themselves. They knew how to talk. It was yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, thank you, right? Respect. Respect is earned, not given. And I want them to respect everybody. And I want people to say, you got a great bunch of ladies, and they do. And they always do that. Sometimes I'm thinking like, was I too tough on them today? You got at her real hard. And then I'll receive a text and go, Coach, thank you for getting on me today. I needed that. And you say, that's why you do it. It's for the thank you, not the money. It's for the thought that's going to take you. And one day you get that phone call, say, you remember that day that I got pregnant and you wouldn't allow me to give up? Look who I am today. I owe that all to you because you would not let me fail.
You sound like a great coach, man. Like, I've only been here, but I've seen a big difference from the girls' team just in the 1 year you've been here. So then that begs me to ask the question: with your, all your playing career accolades, all that time as a coach, assistant recruiter, all this money you've been doing, why do you think it took so long for you to get a head coaching spot? And not only get a coaching spot, had to go to, not no disrespect to my family, my school, but you starting off at HBCU is your first head coaching job. Why do you think that's so?
Well, they wanted me, and that's always important, right? In any relationship, it can't be a one-way street. It need to be a two-way. I don't like one-way streets. I like a two-way street. So FAMU pursued me, and that was a good thing. So when they pursued me, I wanted to go, and it was in Florida. I was able to celebrate my mama's 90th birthday on October 11th. And if I could be anywhere else, I don't think I would have had the opportunity, as a head coach, to be that close, 3.5 hours from my mom, to be able to celebrate her 90th birthday, because I had been away so long. Just told you I spent all those years over in Italy.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to make decisions. I've been working for those Power 5 schools for a long time. And the funny part about it, once again, is God's plan. I was talking to one of my former assistants when I was at Cincinnati, and we was just in the office talking, and I was mentoring her. And she said, if you could be a head coach, no lie, this was of 22. If you could be a head coach at any place, where would you want to be? And I said, Florida A&M.
Wow.
And to make it even crazier, that March of 23, I watched the SWAC tournament in Birmingham, Alabama. I watched Southern upset Jackson. I watched the whole tournament. December of 22. December the 27th, 2022. I wrote it and I got it in my vehicle. First time I actually prayed and asked God. I was ready to be a head coach. I was tired of moving from here, moving there. I wanted to be in a situation. I wanted to, have my own team finally. I wanted to be in a place that I can call home. And I prayed a prayer, December the 27th. I never forget it. 2022. After making that conversation in November, December 27th, watching the SWAC tournament in March, and getting a call in July 23. And I'm here to say, won't he do it? Won't he do it? But it always had to be in his time. And I always had to say that I had to be in a situation where I felt supported and that I can achieve, and I wouldn't be set up for failure.
Prayer is a powerful thing.
It is. And coach, I got to ask you, being a head coach, obviously you have a major job outside of coaching, the recruiting part of it. So in terms, because you were always a big time athlete, how or what different struggles does that promote with being at a HBCU and not like necessarily one of the blue buds or the big schools like Tennessee? Like, how hard is it to try to recruit those big time girls, or do you kind of just look away from the talent and more for the fit in your actual program?
Once again, you got to look at the money side, right? At the HBCUs, of course, right now, y'all know NIL and took over the game.
Yep.
But even before NIL, there's a fund out there called Austin, ASHTON, Austin fund that gives $6,000 to every athlete, every student athlete, every year on campus. We don't have that. So you're looking at the money part of it that makes us a HBCU. And it's kind of hard to draw, them big fish to this small pond without. Excuse me again.
No, you're fine.
So that's the hard part of it, the money part. Y'all get me choked up.
No, you're fine.
Oh, good.
And then this in terms of this overall, because I feel like you've been a person firsthand to seeing all the growth and pretty much all like the big time women athletes that came through. If you had to name your Mount Rushmore of women's basketball players, this is a tough one. I was going to go Mount Rushmore of just Tennessee women's basketball players, but just in terms of who's your Mount Rushmore on all women's basketball players?
That is hard.
I got my list.
The game ain't been around. I'm putting myself in there now. They said a closed mouth don't get fed, so I know I'm up there.
Ooh. Who's three more with
credit
you?
For everything that I've done in the game and for the game. I mean, Pat Summitt said it for himself. Bridge put Tennessee on the map. So that's what I told my young ladies. You look out there, there's nothing up under the SWAC. So we be the first SWAC champions. Anytime they talk about FAMU basketball, they got to talk about the first. So I'm the first.
Hey, you've been around.
I was the first, part of the first myself, Sheila Frost and Melissa McCray. We was the first class, male or female, to go to 4 straight Final Fours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's history. So I am, I'm gonna toot my own horn. I'm one of the best, I'm one of the best.
So if you on that Mount Rushmore, who them other three?
Cheryl Miller. Now, Cheryl Miller was tough.
Ooh, Cheryl Miller,
freshman when she was a senior.
Mm-hmm.
I think she'll outshoot Reggie too. She was tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
She was better than
you got the Tarasis, you got the Camden Parkers, you got the Holesclaw, you got the new school now with Asia, and you got the Dawn State.
Don't sleep on Maya Moore.
Yeah, I was just about to say I was a big
Maya
Maya
Moore,
Moore
what
fan.
she did at Connecticut and what she did
Big Maya
for the
Moore fan.
league side of Minnesota. That's tough, right? You got Sue Bird winning all them USA Olympics rings too, gold medals.
Was there any player that came after you that you've seen yourself in, or that you can kind of compare yourself in that's in today's game or within the last couple of years?
I consider myself a two-way player, and I don't really see nobody that was
They ain't really locking down like that, huh?
because I was mean. I mean, I'm more like the Kobe's and the Michael. You know, I want to take you and put you in the basket, but I want to shut you down defensively too.
That's how Ernest is. That's Ernest. You describe it.
I love playing defense. I love playing
Yeah, that's the two sides. That was like, you know, the new flavor, I want to say, the Kawhi Leonard, right?
Yeah.
The Kawhi, you know. That's why I love my Boston Celtics. I got my hat on because they got people that was locked down. They'll play defense too. They shooting the three more now, but my team was you know, oh man, Garnett, woo, Paul Pierce.
Yeah. What's some dogs?
Ray Allen.
For sure.
But before that, you still had Dennis Johnson, and I'm talking about Kevin McHale.
Yeah, I've heard of Kevin McHale.
Maxwell. I'm talking about old school. I can go back now.
Hey, I was about to say, it sounds you a basketball savant. But hey, coach, let me ask you, playing back then and coaching now, is it hard trying to like balance like that? Because obviously I feel like what you guys went through back then, like it's a whole different mentality that you're trying to instill in these girls. Like, is there any challenges trying to like kind of blend like that old school and kind of convert to the new school?
Well, I call myself an old school coach with a new flavor twist. Because you got to keep evolving with the nuance of the game. You know, different plays, how we used to close out with two hands, now close out with one and you fight the pass and the dribble with the other one. You know, you talk short, choppy steps, I should say, short, choppy steps. Now it's, you know, big step, push out, C move, cut them off. But it's still tough. Still tough because we could play more physical. It's more like entitlement now. No child left behind. Everybody gets a ribbon for 7th place. So I have to pick and choose my battle with them. Or I would never play music in practice. Now I play music to get their mindset, right? You know, I can't go in the huddle in the first 6 seconds, talk negative. It has to be positive because I'll lose them. And if I lose them for the first 6 seconds, I don't get them back. So everything got to be positive reinforcement for the first 6 seconds. Go huddle with my coaches, then come back. Then I can get into their butts and tell them what they ain't doing and what they need to do. But if that's the first thing they hear, the negative,
they're
not there yet, right? The game been kind of dummied down because back in the day we had 2 officials, now we got 3. Even think about football, you know, you can't lower the shoulder, you can't hit them, you can't wrap the quarterback no more like you do. You know, they talk about everybody how they cry in the game because back in the day, MJ, when they had that MJ rule, Detroit Pistons, he went and got in the weight room. Right? He went and got in the weight room. Now they cry, they look at the official, don't run back on defense. Michael didn't never do that. He didn't do that. And I mean, they were hitting him hard.
I hope this not getting into a Michael Jordan versus LeBron debate right now.
I'm not comparing nothing. We talking about old school versus new school.
Okay. I was gonna say because you know I do understand you talk about the complaining do be a little bit sometimes. I understand, but
talk to her.
At the same time, the refs like this they enable them to do that. That's why they only do that because they can go get those calls. LeBron do that because he can. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, they all do. A lot of the superstars now they look at the fish instead of get back because that's kind of like a little entitlement where the game is at now, right? And then you got to think about it, the best players, but even in the game today, I tell my team, the official's going to call and officiate for the more aggressive team. If you're going in there soft, 100%. They're not going to give you the call. You got to go strong.
Yeah.
You got to make them, I say, make the official blow the whistle. Put them girls in the basket.
That Flash Gordon coming out.
I want to jump on as well. You talked about it earlier. Like it struck me because I remember when I was playing, like I would do the same thing. Like your coach like come at you like too negative. Like the first thing you say to in the game is negative. Like I would just like not want to listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be like, okay, bro, like the first thing you say to me is bad. Like, come on. Like, that's that. I'm glad you said that because you're saying something positive first and then getting on them, you're more receptive to that. Or at least I was when I was playing football. I was more receptive. So I'm glad you touched on that. That's how I know you're really good, coach.
What was that?
I'm not going to sugarcoat them. I never wanted a yes person. I tell my staff that, don't yes me. I'm they try to, some people say, you mean? I say, no, I'm just real. Sometimes real don't recognize real because they want me to tell them false hope. And I can't set them up for failure. I got to tell you the truth. I tell them I'm going to tell you how it is. T-H-I is. So that's T-H is. I'm going to tell you how it is.
Mm-hmm.
My mom.
You got to respect it, though.
So funny, bro.
You got to respect that.
And then I said, that's why I say, I'm not here to be your BFL. I'm here to be your mentor, to guide you, because you're not going to pick up that phone some years later and say, Coach, why didn't you tell me that? You should have told me that. Because that's when it might resonate. I told them I hope it's not that long that it take for them to resonate, that I'm building strong, powerful women. I'm here to empower women, empower young people, period. Because whoever I come in contact with, I want to empower them.
I mean, that's the life changers. That's the difference between a coach, like, because a lot of times, like, you see coaches recruiting just for the benefit of them, but like you can see like that's firsthand, like someone who actually cares about the person, not just the product. So I definitely respect
the game.
Definitely I love it. They said if you see me talking, like even now, I'm so energetic and my voice carried. But that's the passion that I have. Anytime you see this passion go away, it's time for me to hang up my shoes and pass the baton to somebody else. That's why when a lot of people see me coming, I call myself Coach Pressure. I'm putting pressure on you. Because if you ain't doing your job, I'm going to challenge you.
Ooh.
If you ain't taking care of my young ladies, I'm going to call you out.
That's the type of coach.
Somebody don't want to be told the truth, but I'm going to hold you accountable. Because I want people to hold me accountable. And that's what I tell my young ladies. All I need you is to reciprocate what I'm giving you, because I'm giving them the best of the world. I wash their clothes. I go out and raise money. We only get $36 per day for per diem. State of Florida rule, $6 for breakfast, $11 for lunch, and $19 for dinner. You live on $36.
Wow.
Hey, that's why I go out and advocate for them, cultivating new relationships. Shout out to the Capitals today. I'm sitting at the homecoming with the Capitals, and they realize I'm Coach Pressure. I gave them my QR code, and they donated money.
Ooh.
Also, the class of 1982 donated $5,000 to the women's basketball program. So wherever I go, I'm advocating for my young ladies because I believe in them. That's all I ask them. Just trust the process.
And you see firsthand, you're not just saying that, hey, you doing it.
Wherever we go, if you ain't noticed, Coach like to be color coordinated. When she
I see the jacket.
She step out. But I ain't gonna step out by myself. I'm gonna make sure my lady's suited and booted too.
Got to. You got to. And Coach, I know I got one last question for you before we wrap it up. In today's game, definitely a lot of talent out there. Who's one player that really catches your eye that you really like watching in today's game?
Today in college or professional?
College or professional. I know you probably got some girls in your squad, professional girls.
For me, for my young ladies, I tell them all I want them to do is get 1% better every day. This team started off in June the 26th. On this day, November the 1st, they've grown so much, leaps and bounds. They come together as a sisterhood, and I can tell you that my culture has begun on the highest of 7 hills. And I'm so happy. I'm so ecstatic. I can't wait to play somebody else. We played a lot of close scrimmages to keep that little.
You got me wanting to come to the game.
So we ready. I mean, we played a close scrimmage against TSC, the former Tallahassee Community College. But going back to what you're saying, it's just beautiful to see the game played where it's at. And I'm an Asia Wilson fan because a lot of times big girls don't get love. But when she can do the things that she can do, handle it, shoot it, I know they're criticizing her a lot. The aces fell short. But if you listen to this young lady, when she cried out saying it's hard to be Asia, people don't understand what that pressure is to carry that weight on your shoulder and your back every day when you have young people looking up to you. It's
Especially
a
all
tall
that media
task.
attention now.
You got to see about mental health is real. People try to say, and it's an excuse. It's mental health is mental health, what it is. You know, we as a race, we tried to cover it up, right? And we use that to say, you're weak. No, you're not weak. There is mental health issues, especially in society today because of this. Social media, body shaming, bullying. So there's a lot of mental health going on. And that's another thing I want to mention. I make sure my ladies are taking care of the sports psychology part of it. If they're struggling with the way they performing, my middle school teacher has this thing called Brain Gym. And we're fortunate enough that she comes up and she worked with my young ladies. We also has the university itself has sports psychologists themselves from Florida State that comes over, a part of their internship, their grad program, and they can meet with our young ladies. We also has a therapist over in the CAS building that the university presents us, and we have the ability to, utilize, a therapist. So we got a strength and conditioning coach. You got me that knows it inside out. You got a nutritionist. So we covered in all phases and facets of the game in there for their life. The sports psychologist, the therapist, a nutrition and a trainer.
More you need, you gotta
a loving and caring coach. Like I tell them, when I recruited them, I'm not just your coach, I'm your mentor, I'm your mother away from home. And what I found on this FAMU campus, you got the FAMU lead, you got a village.
Hello.
To raise your children. You got professors. I tell them, they already know. I'm walking my young ladies to class. I'm mama bear. You better take care of them. Because coach gonna come get you and mistreat mine. I take care of mine.
That's the type of coach I want to play for.
I tell my ladies, when coach stop talking to you, that's when you need
that's when the problem starts.
Hey, as long as I'm on you and I'm coaching you,
that's when
and
they
I'm caring for you, because the minute that practice over, I can call you in my office and say how you doing, how your class is doing. You need to get that GPA because in on the student side, they say C's get degrees. I say C's say see you later. You go on the other side of the door for me because I need you to make A's and B's because the ball goes flat.
Love that. That's real.
And the one thing I'm gonna tell you too, gentlemen, I tell my ladies, don't nobody steal your confidence. Mama, boyfriend, girlfriend, preacher, teacher. Confidence comes within. Every time you look at that mirror, you got to speak life into self. You confident in your own skin. Don't let nobody take that away from you. You have to have the confidence. I told him, you give me confidence to play you. I don't give you the confidence to play. You give me confidence to play you.
Because you got me wanting to run through a big brick wall. I ain't gonna lie. Got me wanting to run through a big. Hey, that's a mic drop, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Mic drop. That's what I tell them. That's who I am. There's a lot of people. I've been going over there to the hub. I've been publicizing this game against Howard on Monday at 6:30 at Al Lawson Center. And then our newly appointed VP, Angela, has taken it to another level and say, everybody get in free. Everybody gets in free on Monday, 6:30, Al Lawson Center. Advocate for everybody to get out to the polls and vote if they didn't early vote. Coming in here to a great atmosphere. It's Greek night. We're giving out door prizes. We got so much prizes, food. We're giving away a lot of stuff. It ain't no reason not to be in this beautiful Al Lawson Center on Monday at 6:30 to watch those FAMU women basketball ladies take on those Howard ladies. Even though that's where Kamala come, they got to go down.
They gonna lose on Monday. They gonna lose on Monday.
They got to go down. I love Kamala, but they got to go down on Monday.
Yeah, we won't love her that day. We love her tomorrow, the day after that, though.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't mind, I got one last question because I promised my last one.
It's okay.
How many points you think Ern gonna drop on your team if he would have played in a scrimmage? Let's just say if you play like 18 minutes, how many points you think Ern will get?
I'll score.
First of all, I'm gonna put my best defender. I'm gonna say Ernest is a no touch. Ooh! And then see, I got 17 ladies that I could just rotate. Your job is to make sure Ernest don't touch. Now he gonna touch a couple times. He can't have
go get the ball
against my lady.
Oh, Ern, come on, Ern. Ern, we gonna have to have you go to a practice, Ern.
I got practice players too. I got practice players. My
That's
coaches
okay.
get out there sometimes.
Hey, I know some of your players too. Some of them need a little more roughing up too.
Hey, Ern. Hey, I'm gonna need you to go to practice, Ern.
Hey,
I think she down you, Ern.
I don't really come.
You're not getting the ball. You're not getting the ball.
Make sure you in shape, Ern, before you come. I don't want you to be embarrassed now. Because we get up and down. One thing people noticed this year, we're a lot quicker than we were last year. Be careful now, Ern.
Hey, Coach, y'all picking up full court?
Huh?
Y'all picking up full court?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ern. Pass it up,
Ern. I'm a defensive-minded coach.
Get off of it.
We picking them up as soon as they get off the bus.
Ooh.
Miss 94 feet. Miss 94 feet.
Hey, I had to go. Hey, I had to go pick them up at the bus, man. I ain't gonna lie. I had to go to the bus stop.
I told my ladies, as soon as they get off the bus, they call it the snake pit. We done renamed it the pressure cooker.
Oh my God. Hey.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm there. Hey,
Howard, I'm sorry.
I'm there Monday.
I'm sorry, about the mentality. It's the mindset. Cause see, I could get in a defensive stance and just scare people by being in the stance. Yeah. I ain't even had to do nothing yet. You see what I'm saying?
That Gary Payton.
I locked them up. I was the glove.
Okay. Hey, Ern, you know what time it is, Ern.
Yeah, I got one. This is it now. Look like this has been great, man. Big shout out to you, Coach Gordon, man, for getting on here. I know, it's like I said, busy game Monday. So I really appreciate you coming on
y'all
here.
Y'all need to bring this podcast to the sideline.
You know, there's a lot of red tape with it here at FAMU, Coach Gordon. Hey,
you know who Coach Gordon is? Hey,
I over there talking to Mr. Kavanaugh, asking y'all get a little seat up there on the level, and then come live.
Jordan.
Hey, Coach, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not that corporate on the radio broadcast. So you might, some Florida might come out, Coach. That's cool. All right, hey, if they picking up full court, I'm like, hey, Ern, they got to get off of it. Hey, Rattlers, we picking up full court, man. Hey, yeah, that press we slapping the floor too. Hey, I can't wait.
I want to score and get right back up in their face like, what?
Yeah, hey, we
come on, it's go time.
We catching it out the net, Ern. Come on, Ern.
We might have to make that happen. Pick them up. You tied? Okay, here we go, tag team. You know, WWE, we tag team wrestling. Your turn now, sister. Who next?
Come on, Ern.
Hey, so excited for this game.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, free.
Right now, we should be able to go 40 minutes individually. But what we can do is tag team and go 40. You get tired, you go hard, the next man up, next woman up. That's what I've told them right now. Because if we're going 40 minutes, we'll be burned out by the time March comes.
That's why everybody got to prepare like they started.
Tournament, March the 11th through the 15th.
And that's key to have players that can be able to do that.
Prepare like you started
last year. This year, they see it in practice. They be like, Coach, when can I get in? I'm like, hey, it's a rotation. Y'all see it. You might get lost in the rotation. You better go out there and ball out. Because if I got to take you out, you might not get back in. But if, hey, Coach, I'm tired, and I take you yourself, okay, you're going to get back in real quick.
Hey, he got me hyped for you, Ern.
Before you go, so Coach Gordon, all the people I'll make this quick. We got just keep going because I can sit here and talk about basketball.
I'm hyped.
I can sit talk about basketball with you all day, but we got to push it forward.
If y'all need me to be a repeat running person to come back, I'm here. Just talk to me. I'm here.
Cool, we're gonna have them, but before the tournament, finish, Ern. My bad, man. My bad.
Coach Gordon, who do you think would be a great person for our show that you know?
For y'all show? What you mean?
Like for a good person that would be a good guest on our show.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get y'all got to go get Pat. Coach Crary. Coach Crary, he gonna surprise some people.
Okay. I like that.
You know what time it is.
I like that.
Oh, he gonna get on. He gonna get on.
Oh yeah,
I need you to throw us around. Get some of the girls on.
I get him on. Y'all set up the date. I get him on.
Let's do it. I know Coach Pressure gonna get it done for me. She gonna get it done.
You tell me the date and the time.
Hey,
I got it.
I was counting that.
But that's gonna end this episode. Everyone, glad everybody watched, enjoyed this, man. Like I said, big shout out to Coach Gordon for coming on with us, man. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all next time.